folks, welcome back. It's Rudy. I know, Timmy's Empire. Today we have three things to go over today, ladies and gentlemen. We got a small collection. We've got a conversation needs to be had regarding these old boxes of the dark. So we have a conversation to be had on these dusty old things. We need to go over a few things. And then, of course, to make sure that we maintain at least 10 to 20% in downvotes, I got to put at least one flesh and blood item in there, otherwise too many people enjoy the videos. So we have three things to go over today. A conversation on cards. I need to give you my opinion because I get a lot of questions on the dark nowadays. It's just constantly, people are always asking about the dark. So that's something that we want to go over. And then these Easter egg cards from Flesh and Blood. This one's specifically from good old Crew, first edition Crew. These are something that I want to discuss with you all, these Easter egg promotional variants. Like this is, I call this the playing card, like a deck of cards, like bicycle cards, like or casinos use, because it's got the mirror image twin blade full art, absolutely stunning card. I acquired another one of these recently, and I wanted to go over that with you all and discuss this type of thing with Monarch and things coming up. So, three things in today. We're going to start with the booster box of the dark, ladies and gentlemen. And then we'll put some dual lands there. And then we got some other miscellaneous cards there. Okay, so we're going to start with the dark. The reason I'm bringing this up, I know it's kind of a random thing, but it really wasn't enough to make a whole video. So I want to combine a bunch of little topics today. People have been asking me, how do you price a box of the dark? I don't understand, Rudy. How are these things $5,000 a box? Just so you all know, it's a very 80 cards, I know. $1.45 a pack. Oh my God. It's so ridiculous, man. Anyways, more importantly, 60 packs per box, 8 cards per pack. Good old Garfield games back in the day. Circle seals. Remember that. There were no full seals of the dark. Okay. And of course, there were not logos back then on the wrapping. The dark is such a bizarre product. It had the highest print run out of the original Four Horsemen expansion sets, but it's also the most ill-received over the last 20 years. So that is kind of one of the biggest variables I want to comment to you all. Just because the print run was greater, you have to understand, from day one, everybody wanted Arabian Nights. Everybody knew it was king, okay? There was never any hidden value. Well, Bazaar Baghdad was deemed garbage back in the day compared to Library. So, I mean, you know, Bazaars compared to Loas were always anyways. On the dark, the reason we have issues today is that the amount of these sealed boxes left is very, very little. And you're going to hear me bring this up quite a bit moving forward, similar to the Flesh and Blood situation. As these boxes went from a couple $100s to $500 to $1,000 a box recently in the last 5 years, what happened was the system got flushed out, okay? In other words, people holding these boxes, all the hodlers, all the hodlers out there, you know, all the hodlers that were holding these things that had cost basis of a couple $100s, they locked in profits and they walked away when these things hit $1,000 a box. So the market got kind of flushed too early. We saw a similar situation when it came to Flesh and Blood on Crucible of War boxes. When the boxes went from $200-$300, they jumped to $500, $600, $700, $800, $900. Everybody sold out. Box price retraced back down on Crucible of War, Flesh and Blood, back down to $500. Then when it hit that $400, $350 range, I stepped in and started buying because I thought it was stupid. Similar situations when we talk about alliances over here, and also Stronghold and Weatherlight. Specifically, those type of expansions more so than revised. What happened was when like Weatherlight hit $500 a box, everybody like me, people like Rudy, were continuously buying Weatherlight the last 10 years. Then when Weatherlight hit $1,000 and $1,500 recently, everybody started selling their Weatherlights. Same thing with alliances. When alliances popped up to like $1,500 a box, everybody started selling. What happens is we all have these mental things in our heads where we have these price memories, and everybody has a price in this world. That should be actually, you know, that's going to be the name of this video. Everyone has a price in this world, okay? No matter who you are, like me, I have a substantial position in boxes of the dark. I have over 10. I guess that's considered substantial. I know. I have over 10. I have more than 10. And in my opinion, I have no intentions of selling these or opening these. I don't care if I know they're $5,000 a box on eBay. You could offer me $10,000 a box. I wouldn't open it, and I still wouldn't sell it. You could offer me $15,000 a box for the dark. I wouldn't sell it. I wouldn't open it. You wouldn't even get me to flinch. The problem is, if someone's, you know, psycho Timmy Taco enough to be like, Rudy, I don't care who you are. I have $1 billion. I'm a billionaire because I invented, I don't know. I invented everything in the world. I'll give you $100,000 a box. All right, fine, you win, I'm out, take it all. Everybody has a price. Do you see what I'm saying? The higher up you go, the crazier and stupider it sounds. But you really, people would have laughed at me if I told people this was a $5,000 box in 2017, 2016 when I started YouTube in 2016, if I told people buy the dark at 400 because it's going to be $5,000, literally everybody would just laugh and downvoted like crazy like they did anyways with my good to own land and cons of Tarkir and all that silly stuff I did. Do you see my point? It's all relative. We all have mental numbers in our head of entrances and exit points. The problem is when you have hard market repricing scenarios like 2020, 2021, as these things start going to the moon, most people jump off the ship in transit because they want to lock in. They're afraid of a retracement. That's very common in Wall Street. This is not Wall Street. This is Timmy's Taco Stand basement, third floor pretzel sticks. It doesn't work that way because we have a finite supply. This isn't Wall Street where you can just leverage up, borrow shares that don't even exist. Looking at you, GME. It doesn't matter about the shares and quantities. Wall Street's always going to make it liquid even if it doesn't exist. When it comes to collectibles, there's a finite supply. The problem with the dark is there are not enough to go around, and the market mispriced how many are left. I don't even think there's a couple hundred boxes of the dark in the world. I'm going to be very blunt with you all. Like, if there was 400 boxes of the dark in the world, I'd be blown away. 400. I don't even think that exists. My personal opinion, just giving you my opinion. And that's the problem. Now, when we jump over here to these weird cards, we got like two Weatherlight cards, the old Mist and the Web, some of these little side Weatherlight reserve list weird cards. And of course, hey, oh, Peacekeeper over here. Excellent, excellent, excellent card. Love that artwork, man. Look at the bat, look at the horse, look at the power, look at the robe. Dude, that is beautiful. Like the robe, it's got that African theme to it, which is look at the jewelry, look at the white. I mean, oh, just the colors and the sunset, just the whole artwork is stunning. Anyways, on cards like these from Weatherlight, Weatherlight's another example. The market was flushed out when Weatherlight popped to 1,000 a box. Everybody's like, dude, I'm out. I was only in for a couple hundred. I'm up 100%. I'm out of here. And it got screwed. Same thing with Alliances. The Stronghold's hilarious at this point. People are Stronghold. I don't even want to get into that. Stronghold's just funny. And of course, Null Rod. $1,000 yet? Nope. Too soon? Okay, we'll revisit that in another 2 years. All right. So that's my speech on the dark. Yes, the dark is a $20,000 booster box. I don't care who even says anything. I remember back in the day when these were $400 or $500, people thought I was an idiot for buying the dark. Who would buy the dark for $500? What do you think, it's going to go to 1,000 one day? All right, good talk. All right, so we're going to move that aside. Final comment on the Flesh and Blood is these Easter egg style cards is something that makes Flesh and Blood very special. They like to do these, and I anticipate that there are going to be more Easter egg variants in randomly within the set with, you know, weird artworks and mirror reflections and full art. We're going to see more of these stunningly beautiful things in the Monarch release and Kingdoms in the future because it's fun. They like doing it. The company likes doing it. The players love to find weird stuff like that. So again, buying a second one of these things it's really cool. I really enjoyed that. I like to have a couple of these things. Now again, this, just so you guys can see at the bottom there, this is Majestic. I believe it's rumored that half of the Majestic Twinning Blades have the mirror kind of playing card full art Easter egg, and the other half are regular. I don't know the exact, no one knows, whatever. That seems to be the consensus. All right, so I want to go over to a few other little things. There hasn't been much talk of, Rudy, you stop pumping Revised. We got to go back to Revised. Okay. Let's have a little conversation on Revised, folks. Get these dual lands together over here. Sorry, this collection, I think there was a note attached. I had a little story note, but I'm sorry, I couldn't find it for the life of me. I think it got actually thrown out in the package. So we got some more played dual lands here. Don't forget Badlands. There was more of a brown frame variant and a gray frame variant. We got a full-blown damaged, literally some of the cardstock actual missing, possible touch-up, water damage, nasty-looking dual land there. Some more dual lands. We got Scrubbies. We got Savannah's Plateaus. We got Volcanic Rudy's Basement. We got Birds of Rudy for high school. More Badlands. Rudy's a scrub, and Rudy's a scrub. All right, just have a couple minute conversation on the Revised dual land situation. And, of course, Wheel of Fortune overall, just Revised as a whole. Revised is definitely starting to find its place. I'm not seeing any more upticks or actually not really major retracements either. I've seen a couple of cards doing some market noise, plus or minus 5–10%, but again, I don't really, that doesn't mean that's fairy dust, you know? Overall, I still stand by my thing that I said months ago. I think Wheel of Fortune is the staple card in Revised. I think the Wheel of Fortune should be 1,000+. I think the dual lands are actually no longer going to be king. I still firmly believe that into the future because this is just such a... I just think Wheel of Fortune is just such a piece of history, man. I'm telling you, it's Alpha Wheel. If you have an Alpha Wheel of Fortune, that's museum quality, my friend. But I do think the Revised dual lands continue to be the benchmark for the health of the secondary market for vintage and things. And I think they're going to hold. And I think they're going to continue. and I think Timmy's are going to miss out.